The party. Donald grandfather went to his car and returned with a map. It was his 11th birthday party, and all of the boys and girls present had pooped on the floor. He opened the map to its Arkansas side and scooped all the poop onto it and then poured the poop carefully into a bucket of worms and mashed potatoes. Thank God that's over with, thought the young driver as he rejoined his pooper friends at the birthday cake table. Make a wish and then blow out the candles until you've canceled each flame, instructed Donald's mother. After blowing out the 11 candles and the 12th good luck candle, Donald went out to his car to check the oil. Things under the hood looked okay, except one of the battery terminals. It looked horrible, as if someone had banged on it softly with a Phillips screwdriver. He dropped the hood, allowing it to slam down, and returned to the dining room of his parents' green Victorian home. Martha Lester politely lifted her plastic fork and withdrew a small bite from her wedge of cake. She placed it carefully on her tongue and then pulled her tongue back so that the cake touched the chunk of flesh which dangled loosely in her throat. If she hadn't swallowed right then, she would have gagged and spewed, but she did, and she said, "A fine cake you've made, Mrs. Grandfather." "Actually, it's store-bought," whispered Donald's mom. Martha's smile turned into a frown. She arose from her chair and then squatted and pooped. "Shall we go for a drive?" suggested Barry Weather, the oldest man in the room. He had just celebrated his 12th birthday. "No terminals," remarked Donald. "Get out of here, you batworm," said Barry Weather. "No, seriously, no terminal." "Batworm." "If you'd all like to stay for dinner, I'm fixing heaps of mashed potatoes," added Mrs. Grandfather. "I'll fix 'em," said Martha. The only 1-year-old present said, "No, I'll fix 'em." Young Misty Small had just started talking that morning. "Seriously, ma'am, I'll fix 'em. I'll fix 'em with cheese and butter and salt, and you'll love 'em." Just then, Henry Grandfather returned from work. He opened the door and exclaimed, "Party's over. I want everyone out. Now." Just then, Hobbs Snowman, the gardener, entered and exclaimed, "Quick! I've got to get some help untangling shrubberies." Hobbs's mother, Seth, was on the phone with her uncle's client, Jay Stitch. Stitch said, "Hold on," and he cupped his hand on the mouthpiece and told his secretary, Jean Lemon, that she was fired. Jean got a job on 5th Avenue working for a man in a pair of jeans he got from the hot dog man's mother's helper. The helper got a maid who knew Rob Reiner's mentor, Alan Walker, the guy who always quoted his mother's friend. She had a saying, "The longer you sleep, the older your daylight." And the daylight was getting old back at tableside. Barry Weather had walked over to a shelf with some stereo components. Young Misty Small said, "This song has no tone." So Barry Boy Weather twisted the tone knob. "Too much tone!" yelled Hobbs Snowman from the garden. But the tone made everyone happy. Even Henry Grandfather sat down to smile and eat some cake. Young Misty Small offered mashed spuds. Donald Grandfather put spuds and cake together on a spoon and pushed it back. "I'll remember this birthday," said Donald to his mother, Seth. "Yes, he will," said Seth. "Yes, he will."